What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Inside the D. We're on very, very tight schedule right now because Luke has soccer practice in like 30, 40 minutes, so it's going to be a bit shorter than our last few episodes. But we're going to get right into this one. We're going to talk about the team of the year, and we're going to go position by position. So we're going to take our whiteboards, and we're going to write on our whiteboards who we think should have been in the team of the year, or if we agree with that selection. So I'm going to get my whiteboard right now, actually. Okay, I think we all know who we're going to pick for best goalkeeper, right?
Yeah.
Manuel Neuer.
Yeah.
Nico is out here asking how to spell Allison.
I forgot about Neuer for a second.
He's
Really?
so good.
So,
Just with the amount that Bayern won, I think it'd be ridiculous if he didn't win it.
so why do you guys think that Allison was in the team of the year, yet Manuel Neuer won best goalkeeper of the year?
I think that just came down to Liverpool winning the title and kind of establishing dominance in the Premier League last year. It's just kind of that simple.
Yeah, and also, don't get me wrong, Bayern's a great team, but defense-wise, I would say Liverpool has a stronger defense than Bayern. And so Alisson, I'd say, has an easier job, so I guess it makes him look better. But if you actually watch Neuer, like this past weekend, I was watching Bayern play, and he made like 4 crucial saves that almost any other goalkeeper that's going in. Neuer was able to stop it. So the difference he makes for that team, because he makes a lot better saves than Alisson has. Also, recently, Alisson's not been playing amazingly. Like the start of this year, it was a little rough start.
He's
The end of last year. Well, I mean, before he got injured. And last year, the end of it wasn't great. It wasn't great for all of Liverpool, but I don't know. He seemed to have slowed down from his previous self.
And I agree with both of those points, but what I guess I was getting at in that question is, isn't that a little bit contradictory? That Neuer won best goalkeeper, but wasn't named in the World Football 11?
It for sure is, yeah. But I also think that they're two very different things, because you've got best and then you've got like a goalkeeper's award, because it's separate in the end of it. Because the goalkeeper's award is like, how are you as a player, like just you. And then to be on the, best 11, it's a lot more of, how are you benefiting your team? Like if you're a captain of a really good team, you have higher odds of getting into the team, because it's like you're swaying your team in a positive manner.
So do you think that Alisson is maybe a better player than Neuer in terms of team play? And you think Neuer's is better individually?
I think Neuer is the best goalie right now. Maybe Jan Oblak puts up a bit of a fight, but he also just has really padded stats, like Alisson does. Because when you look at, like, they don't make as many saves as Neuer does because, especially Atletico Madrid plays a really defensive style of soccer. So he's just not making nearly as many saves as kind of the attacking soccer of Liverpool and Bayern.
Right. You also got to think, like, as we know, a lot of these decisions aren't always just on the skill of the player, but also the popularity and the publicity they're going to get out of it. So, Neuer's an older player. Maybe they're trying to look for that younger, the next Neuer, I guess you could say. They want to give it to him instead of Neuer, who's got a couple years left on him.
Maybe it's just me being a guy who likes FIFA career mode, but we got to be careful with saying that Alisson could be the next Neuer if they're not that far in age. It's not like Alisson's an up-and-coming 22-year-old. They're both around the same age. They've got very similar skill sets. It's just Neuer was already the best goalkeeper in the world, and everyone thinks he's already past his prime, which he might be. But this season, he's really had us question that.
Yeah, he's fantastic. There hasn't been that much of a drop in skill through his age, and it's really shown with how well Bayern's doing, because they haven't had a reason to replace him yet.
Yeah, and that just shows you the skill level. Also, if you look Germany, I mean, the competition he's got to play goalie for that team, he's got Ter Stegen, he's got Leno. They have a great goalkeeper selection, and he's able to maintain that spot, and that's for a reason. It's because he is the best. He's also a great leader as well.
Absolutely. Moving on to left back. We should all write down our things. I'm hoping that we all have the same answer here.
I think we'll all put the same one. I think this is a no-brainer.
We've got Fonzie. Yeah, we do. We've
Yeah,
got Alphonso
he's
Davies.
he's ridiculous. He's so good at what he does. He's quick. He can keep the ball. His defense is pretty solid, and like we kind of said with Neuer, Bayern is dominant.
And
He's got to
not
stay
only-
healthy though.
Well,
Yeah,
every
well,
player is going to struggle with
Yeah,
injury.
what are you
really.
gonna do? But I think that the question to pose here is he that much better than Robertson?
No.
And
No.
how close is that? Because you also have to remember that Robertson's playing with, I mean, probably a top 3 team in all of Europe, with Bayern also being a top 3 team in all of Europe. I mean, you've got like ridiculous teams around both of these fullbacks.
Yeah,
Here's
but I'll,
Oh, go ahead.
well, what I was gonna say is like Davies also, not only is he a great player, but he's also become, especially this year, he's become very, very popular with the public. Everybody's loving this young 20-year-old kid who's playing amazing for one of the best clubs in the world. And so you also got to take into account, he's more popular than Robertson. Robertson is a little bit older, so less people are kind of like on the hype train, I guess you could say, for Robertson. So they probably wanted to give it to Alfonso because he is, he's up and coming and he's already, he's a superstar at 20 years old.
Yeah, I was going to say similar to what Iko just said, whereas Davies stands out more as an individual than Robertson. You take a look at Liverpool, and Robertson's not even the most popular fullback on the Liverpool. You got Alexander-Arnold. He's probably the fifth or sixth most popular Liverpool player right now, whereas Alphonso Davies, of course, you have Lewandowski, you have all these other great players, but Alphonso Davies stands out, and like Iko said, he's got more of the younger people's attentions, and he's standing out more, and he made an instant impact in Bayern. I mean, just say 6 months ago, I didn't even know who he was, right? He was some kid from Vancouver playing for the Whitecaps, but now he's proven himself to become the best left back in the world, just edging Robertson. Not by much, just edging him.
And he's got a big career in front of him.
Absolutely.
Big career. I could see him playing in a lot of different leagues throughout his whole life, and good things to come.
Absolutely. Moving on to center backs.
So are we going to do both?
We're going to do both. So write down both of your center backs.
I wrote initials because it's easier that way.
No, I think I know which one you're gonna put.
This is a no-brainer for me. Again.
For me, I went with the two that were already selected.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's not much that you need to say about this one. Ramos is the only thing holding Real together, and VVD is the best center back.
I don't know if I'd say that. Benzema had an amazing season.
Benzema's
last
putting him
year.
Ramos didn't Ramos almost like lead Real in goals last year?
No. But you can't say he's the only thing keeping them together.
To be fair,
obviously
by the
he's a
way.
key component, but Benzema's like amazing.
To be fair, Luke, the goal stat that you brought up, not that you should judge a center back based off of his offense, but he scored 11 goals last season. That's by far his best in his whole career. Again, not judging a center back on his goals, but that's pretty amazing. And he captained the side as well. And I wouldn't say he's the only thing holding Madrid together. Like you said, there's Benzema, there's other players. But, I mean, he's definitely their biggest leader, and Real Madrid would not perform as well without him.
Yeah, and nothing needs to be said about VVD. I think that one's really a no-brainer for everyone. He's ridiculous.
He's scary.
Yeah.
I wanna ask you guys something though. As we know, he had a horrible injury at the start of this year. When he comes back, if it's next season, if it's at the end of this season, is it going to be the same Virgil van Dijk, or are we going to see him being, limited because of this injury, and possibly, as we see with a lot of players, they have the fear of getting re-injured, so they kind of slow down a little bit?
I think he's going to be a bit slower at first, but he's not going to lose his touch. I mean, he's one of the most, if not the most reliable defender center back in the world. He played every single minute of the 2019-2020 season and every minute of the 2021 season up until that ACL injury. So he's reliable. He'll play any game he can. He'll get as many minutes as he can and as possible. And I think once he comes back, they said around 6 months.
Yep.
By next season, the 21-22 season, he'll be prime VVD again, I think.
Yeah, and he's only 29. So it's not like a career-ending injury, particularly. And I think Liverpool is going to make a signing that's going to help with kind of phasing him back into the squad. Because I do really think that they'll sign a center back during the January transfer window, which will help a lot because hopefully that'll be like a new rock for them that they can phase either them out or Joe Gomez out to bring VVD back in.
Absolutely. Like, and Upamecano, we said last episode or 2 episodes ago that he was probably the front runner for them to sign. But Van Dijk's not going anywhere. This injury, again, an ACL injury or any injury for that matter, when you're out for a long time, can potentially ruin or harm your career in huge ways. I'm not worried about Van Dijk at all, and I'm going to knock on wood that he comes back as healthy as possible without any future injuries. Right back?
Once again, a no-brainer.
No-brainer for me. That is the player that was selected already. That is Trent Alexander-Arnold. No one wants to spell his name, right?
It's too long, but
Too long.
it's amazing. He's so good. All right, enough said. He's so ridiculously good at right back.
Offensively, the best right back in the world, in my opinion. You could argue that there are better
No-brainer.
defensive. You could argue that there are better defensive right backs. A lot of people say Wan-Bissaka. That's interesting. Maybe.
Bellerin.
No.
I've got an absolutely unpopular opinion. I would pick Wan-Bissaka over Trent. I think listen, he's obviously the best right back. That's why I put him. That's why he got selected. But I think in the long run, I would rather have Wan-Bissaka. I think he's a better defensive player, and he's very similar offensively.
I mean, that's a lot to digest there.
I think they're very, very different offensive players. Wan-Bissaka likes to make big overlapping runs, and Trent kind of likes to stay a little more reserved and whip balls in, which works for Liverpool, as him and Robbo do a lot.
Robbo has got the most crosses in the Premier League right now this season. Trent has dealt with a little bit of injury. Trent's got 70 crosses this season. But offensively, I'm putting Trent miles above AWB. Defensively, I'm only putting AWB a little bit higher than Trent.
But I feel like Trent could play in a lot of different positions around the field.
He could play center mid.
Yeah.
What am I saying?
No, actually, he was
He played
originally.
right mid.
Yeah, originally he was a
mid.
right mid. No, he was a right mid.
Where in the academy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? I could see that. 100% I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of those players that's very versatile. He's not like just ridiculously good at one thing. Like, he's a very well-rounded player, which I think kind of plays to Liverpool's strengths.
Oh, another thing that plays to Liverpool's strengths is he's a local guy. He grew up being a Liverpool fan, so he's already got that. He's very comfortable in the city of Liverpool and with the team and all that. He's only, 20? 19, 20?
Mm-hmm.
And he's already one of the most, he's very, very comfortable in the squad. You can tell he's adjusted perfectly. Last season, he had 13 assists in the Premier League, which was the second most. The most was Kevin De Bruyne, which was tied with the record. So he's not going to beat that, but he was second. He had the most crosses in the Premier League. I think he had around, I'm not going to say a number just in case I get it wrong, but I know he had the
10
most.
in a game.
He had around 70 to 80 more than the second place guy, which is ridiculous. I mean, Trent Alexander-Arnold, best right back in the world. Wan-Bissaka is up there, but there's a pretty big gap, I'd say, between 1 and 2.
No, I think Wan-Bissaka is limited at Man U. You put him on a team like Liverpool, he'd perform pretty similarly, I think.
I don't think. Not like Trent. Trent's a different breed,
Trent is so good.
All right, well, that does it for the back four.
Quick question.
Yeah, of course.
Formation. Are we going 4-4-2 or 4-3-3? Because we were talking before this.
I went 4-3-3.
4-4-2 for what I'm picking makes more sense.
Okay.
But
I
but
can
not
play
the
Messi as a
standard.
10.
The standard is a 4-3-3 though.
No, I know, but
Formation they do for
I
team
want
of the
2
year.
strikers.
I'm doing 4-3-3, so we have 3 central midfielders, but you can do the 10, you can do CDM or center
Okay,
mid.
I'm gonna do yeah. I'll do like a false.
Okay,
line.
so why don't we start with? Are we doing? Let's just do our 3 midfielders.
All 3.
All 3. I'm gonna get yelled at, by the way, by you guys in a second. Definitely get yelled at by Eco
Wait, I'm forgetting one of mine.
after my center mid.
One of them's a 10. You guys are gonna say he's a winger. I don't care.
Me too.
Is it Neymar?
No.
Oh,
Wait. I'm forgetting one of mine. Let me.
You guys are gonna scream at me for what I'm about to tell you.
I'm very confident that this would be the best midfield to ever exist. Actually,
By the way, I based my starting 11 off of off of players who play those positions. So I didn't include Neymar in the midfield at a 10.
No, I didn't. Well, he kind of plays a very
They
held
move
back.
him around a little
inverted
bit, as Eco was mentioning. They move him around to a 10, but he started every single game in 2020 as a left wing.
Yeah, I mean, they basically play a 4-4-2 with
Right.
Neymar and Mbappe and like Di Maria, and then like one of their center mids kind of plays on the left, but
It's a weird formation. I didn't think that he qualified as a midfielder.
4-2-3-1, but
Right.
he's
So we're
technically
gonna flip
a
it around.
lamb. Okay,
My controversial is I didn't change it. I kept
Really?
Thiago. Messi
yeah.
Wait,
in the
wait.
midfield.
I said he's a 10.
He's
He
not a
basically
10.
plays as a 10.
No.
He wears the number 10. He's no number 10.
I think. Well, I want to go 4-4-2, so Messi would be
Alright.
my right mid.
All right, wait. Before we argue,
I see.
Kimmich, a guy we all had.
Joshua, yes.
Obviously, he's the best CDM. I
Yep.
hate to break it to the Conte fans,
He-
but
I think he just passed him. I think he just passed
So
him last
good.
year or 2 years ago.
he's also he's still young, right? Like 24, 25.
He's
Okay.
probably mid-20s, yeah.
It's 20.
Yeah, he's just better. Faster as well, better defensively. I think we can agree with that. Aiden, why would you pick Thiago? I know he was the pick, but
Well, wait,
it was a
hold on.
very controversial pick.
Wait. Okay, I would like to stay on Kimmich for.
Yeah,
for
let's
just
stay
a
on
second
Joshua
longer.
Okay,
Kimmich
okay,
first,
okay.
and then I'll explain Thiago.
When the Bundesliga had first come back,
Yep.
and they were really the only league playing, I think that we're all watching the Bundesliga games, and kind of more specifically Bayern. But Kimmich really showed what he had to offer in the Champions League, in the Bundesliga. He kind of just proved himself as like the player that Bayern really needed in the middle to just kind of glue everything together. It was kind of him and Muller. And I think Kimmich does a perfect job of what he needs to do.
And I'm gonna stop calling Joshua Kimmich the next Philip Lahm because I know Philip Lahm played CDM as well, but Philip Lahm was obviously more of a right back. I don't like him at right back. I don't like Kimmich at right back. I love him at CDM. I mean,
Needs
that
to
is
be in the
his
middle.
position. They tried him out at right back a little bit at the beginning of last season. He found his position.
No, first of all, don't take it away from him. He was a great right back. He's
I don't
just
like
a
him
better CDM.
That's what I'm saying. I prefer him at center defensive midfielder, and I guess so does Hans Dieter Flick. I mean,
Which I'd like to give a little stat about him.
let's hear it.
Since he's been hired, he has more trophies won than losses. He's 5 trophies
Five
won,
trophies.
3 losses.
By the way, 5 trophies all this season.
all
Yeah.
this season.
First season.
Yeah,
It's his first
one season, 5. That's more than
We'll
Tottenham.
get
Yeah,
into
let's
this.
defer.
We'll get into this.
We'll segue into that when we talk about best coach and the robbery that happened there. But let's stick with midfielders. Ego, do you want me to talk about Thiago and why I picked him?
Wait. Let's go with the one more that we all picked. We all picked KDB, right?
Yeah.
I don't think anything needs to be said about that.
Tied with the Premier League record of assists, as I've mentioned. I love mentioning that because he's unbelievable. It was debatable who was the best player in the Premier League in 2018-19. Was it Virgil van Dijk? Was it Eden Hazard? Was it Kevin De Bruyne? Who was it? Now it's clear to me that I think it's Kevin De Bruyne. Sorry,
It always
Virgil.
makes Aiden sad to think that he was in their academy and now he's gone.
He wasn't actually in our academy. We just had him and got rid of him.
Well, we lost Harry Kane, so that's an L.
We lost. We could have signed Mbappe for £17,000. We
But-
also
but
lost Mo
KDB 's
Salah.
special.
We lost Lukaku.
De Bruyne is
We lost-
special.
We lost to Aubameyang, which wasn't that bad.
Well, it would have been Dortmund Aubameyang.
Dortmund Aubameyang was
true.
ridiculous. He scored.
He scored. He scored. Oh my God! He scored against Southampton in a draw. It's unfortunate, but he scored,
He scored. It went in the back of the net. Off of
and that's
his
all that
foot.
matters. Well, last time he hit it in the back of the net was
That's okay.
Wrong
That's
net.
okay. That's okay.
Burnley.
But KDB is really something. I think he's really something special. Pep has transformed him into a ridiculous player.
Complete midfielder. He's one of the best complete midfielders in the world. You could say he's the best midfielder in the world. He's
Yeah,
an
I would argue
absolute beauty of a playmaker. I mean, he can, with his eyes closed, play a beautiful through ball and you're in on goal. You know what I'm saying? He's unbelievable, and he's really.
He's also a great shooter. A lot of people talk about his passing, but he is also he's a very strong shooter.
Very
Obviously, he
underrated.
takes the pens and free kicks for them, and that's for a reason.
Yeah, the 3 things that stand out to me the most of De Bruyne is vision. Well, I guess I was going to say vision and passing, so I guess that's kind of the same thing. No, I'll say vision, execution,
Okay.
and shooting, because I love his shooting. Yeah, vision, execution, bit
But
different.
his dribbling is also really he's
Again,
a
yeah,
very
there's another thing.
well-rounded player, and he's strong on the ball. Like, it's hard to get him off the ball.
Right.
He does very well under pressure. Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's kind of that simple.
Yeah.
There's no other way to say he's the best.
All right. Before we get into the third midfielder, I want to make a little change. I had Neymar, but I decided to pick someone. You guys might hate me for this. Bruno Fernandes.
I was thinking that.
Okay.
Call him
I almost
Fernandes all
put
you want,
that.
but he has transformed Manchester United into a watchable team. And
Pretty sure he has more goals than Ziyech, Havertz, Werner, and Pulisic all combined.
You pronounced all of their names wrong.
yeah, yes, my God.
Close
No,
enough.
he got Havertz.
He got
I guess it's Havertz.
I'm American. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Pulisic's American, but yeah.
He's got a Croatian last name or Slovakia, wherever.
But yeah, I think Bruno should have been included over Thiago. I don't know how Thiago slipped in there. I feel like there was a couple players that you could have put over him, and the best out of that I'd say is Bruno, because I said Neymar originally, and you can argue that he's not a true 10, but Bruno is, and Bruno's amazing at it. What does he have, like 20-something goals in the past 2 years?
Very
I don't
good.
know.
Since like second half of last season.
Yeah.
This
He
year.
signed January.
Yeah,
Right?
January transfer window.
He had 8 goals and 7 assists, I believe, last season.
I'm sorry, not 20 goals, 20 contributions. Doesn't he have something like that right now?
He's got. I'm sure.
He's got a lot. The one case that I think you can make against him is that he was signed in the January transfer window.
But that's perfect timing. That's 20.
Yeah, that's the year.
Oh, I thought, is it not by like season?
That's what I thought it was. I think.
Or
Well,
is
they
it by
take that
year?
They take that into consideration.
Because he was only there for half a season, so we only got half a season to Bruno.
That's why I don't think I picked. That's why I don't pick. Or didn't.
But
pick,
it's the
That's why I don't think
2020
Thiago.
year. It's the second half of the last
Okay,
season and the
okay.
first
I
half.
don't. No, for me, because it's not the first half yet. It's
they
not,
don't have any trophies to prove it. Thiago has lots of trophies to prove it.
Yep. Let me
Um,
explain my Thiago reasoning, since Iko wants to know. I said it was my hardest decision because I didn't know who I was gonna pick. I was actually looking at Casemiro, believe it or not. Fine, but then I was like, I don't think he's the best. I would prefer Thiago over Casemiro. I was looking at De Jong a little bit. For me, not enough yet to prove it. I ultimately went with Thiago just because of all the trophies he's won.
Yeah, with Bayern and Liverpool.
And he's a really good player. He was injured, he had a groin injury, had groin surgery. He's dealt with a lot of injuries in the past year. But for me, it's a hard decision, but I'm putting Thiago.
But we've barely seen him play in the first half of this year, or the first third of this year, I guess.
What I'm saying.
We're judging him off of basically the second half of last season, and that's it. And I don't know how, if you want to argue the fact that Bruno was signed in January, I mean, he's still played more games than Thiago did this season, so I feel like that's not a fair argument for it.
Well, he played more in Premier League than Thiago did Bundesliga, but then
But I'm saying overall in the past year,
but not by much. Again, injury. I mean, injury is like a reason why I didn't put. Well, I guess I'm not going to spoil it, but some of the players that I could have put. But I mean, I just can't think of a better option than Thiago, and I don't think Bruno is quite the right decision.
Luke's gone.
Luke's. Hello, Luke.
Something's just started playing. Do you want me to explain my Messi pick?
Well, I guess you can explain to us why you put him at the 10.
Because I want to play 4-4-2, and Messi's my striker.
What was that?
Or Messi's my right wing.
We are going to go pretty quick because Luke, again, is on a very tight schedule. We only have about 13 minutes to go. We're going to go lightning quick right now. Everyone, write down your front 3.
Okay, and remember, Messi's my right wing. Thank you. I'll go in order. So that we've got.
All right. And
Okay, I wrote it as a front 4, but like it's okay.
here we go. 3, 2, 1. CR7, Golski, Messi. Have we all got the same ones?
We've all gone with the same ones.
Although
Except
you've included
I just
Mbappe.
added Mbappe
You got
instead
the
of my 10. I think that's pretty another self-explanatory one. Lewandowski deserves Ballon d'Or. He did get. Can you get Player of the Year?
Player of the Year, yeah.
I
mean, the three, obviously,
well,
those are the three players we're picking because those were the three contenders for Player of the Year, and they each play the front three.
Yeah.
Can we start with Ronaldo?
Although you could take the left wing away from Ronaldo now that he's taken that striker role for the past 2 years at Juventus. You don't really see him play out on the left.
No. A lot of times when you see like a two striker, he tends to drift to the left.
Yeah, but that's still though you're running he's playing as a striker. I mean,
that's the same. It's kind of the same argument as when you said that. Well, Neymar moves.
Yeah.
So it's either way. I mean, I'm still picking Ronaldo just because.
Yeah.
Who else would you pick, really?
No, I'm not arguing.
Or we could just classify it as attackers and a position.
31 goals in 33 games in the Serie A alone last year.
So good. He's so good.
20 pens.
Different. A goal is a goal. Eco, is it back in the net? Is
Look
it?
at this guy. You're talking about pens when you included Bruno in your. Also, guys, apologies real quick about Eco's camera. He mentioned to us before he's a little bit laggy. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, no problem. But if you're watching on YouTube, like a lot of our fans, can we call them fans? Like a lot of our fans do. Sorry about that. Anyway, Ronaldo. Let's continue.
There's not much that needs to be said. He's one of those players. He's different. We haven't really seen that much of a drop in form and age.
The reason why I don't put Neymar in left wing is just based off of one injury, which I know is most of 2019 rather than 2020. But also Ligue 1, it's just hard to judge because they played only
farmers, and they're playing farmers.
20-something games. Neymar only had 20 games.
They did go very far in the Champions League, where Neymar was really able to show how good he is. And that's one of the main reasons I put Mbappe. Because, I mean, he's so good. And also I want to see some younger players getting into the team, which is like kind of why we're seeing like players like Davies. And I think Mbappe is a goal machine. He's so good. But he could also be classified as a left winger, because we see him and Neymar switching a lot in game.
Yeah.
Messi, I think that's pretty clear.
Again, another self-explanatory one.
Yeah, in my opinion, he's the best.
I almost put Mbappe there, actually.
And think about those three players you just mentioned. We could be seeing them playing on the same team next season. That front three alone could win the Team of the Year next season.
Imagine. The reason why, by the way, I put Messi over Mbappe, which was a very hard decision for me. Messi had a very good amount of goals. So did Mbappe. But Messi had a lot of assists. I think people weren't really realizing that. He had a lot of assists last season. He was there, whether he was playmaking or putting it in the net. He was just contributing overall more than Mbappe in my opinion.
He's a creator that can score.
Exactly.
Is kind of what I would describe him as.
He's the atomic flea.
IMO, in my opinion, he's the best soccer player of all time.
We're not going to get into that right now. But okay, he's definitely up there. I think we all can agree he's one of the best of all time, or in some people's cases, best of all time, which is something, you can't really argue with, I guess.
He's the best of all time.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
We said the starting 11. Now let's talk about a very...
Well, wait a minute. Whoa. I know we skimmed over him a little. I do want to get a little bit more, and let me just say this number for you guys. What do you guys think of 55 goals in 47 games? You think that's good?
It's obvious he's getting it. There's
Robert
no question about that.
Lewandowski. I mean, come on. We got to talk about him a little bit. We can't just snub him off like that. Best player in the world at the moment.
My Polish brother.
Unbelievable amount of goals. 15 goals in 10 games in the Champions League alone. Of course, 34 goals in 31 games in the Bundesliga. Hopefully I got my stats right. I don't mean to... If I'm getting it wrong.
Here if he's wrong.
Apologies if I'm getting it wrong, but I'm pretty sure those are the stats. But, I mean, no debate. No debate at all.
No debate needed. Yeah, he's so good. He doesn't miss. He's ridiculous.
unbelievable. And he's got a crazy amount of goals already this season. He's got more goals than he has games played still right now.
Yeah, there's one game that can describe this whole conversation, and it's the game where he had 5 goals in, what was it, 9 minutes?
Yeah,
That was like
That was like
2018,
2 years
no?
ago, but like
it was
he's
20,
still that player. Like
Yeah.
that was when Pep was still managing.
It
That,
was
'cause I
Pep
remember he
Guardiola.
Mhm.
grabs his bald head.
Yeah.
He's like, and he's shaking his head.
I
He's
don't know
like,
the year, but I think it could honestly have been like 15, 16. Or
No.
No, it was like I think it was
17,
17, 18.
no, it wasn't 17, 18 because I remember the jerseys. Let's look it up, shall we, guys? Guys, we're going on a Google spree.
I can't spell his name.
I got it. It was. Let's
He's
see.
32.
The year of it was September 2015, 2016
Really?
season, boys. I told you. This is the jersey from 17-18, so I know he wasn't wearing this one. But
Yeah.
either way, that was incredible, even if it was 5 years ago. I mean, that
And
was
as a sub.
and as a sub, and they were down as well against Wolfsburg. I remember I watched it with my history teacher, who I won't say his name just in case, but I was watching with him because he's a big soccer guy, he's a big Liverpool fan, and he was saying he'd never even seen or heard about Lewandowski scoring 9 goals in 5 minutes. So after class, we stayed and we watched it, and he was baffled. And how could you not be when you see it for the first time? But just the cool little moment there. But yeah, Lewandowski, bar none, best player in the world right now.
So good. He's so good.
Yeah,
It should be unfair.
absolutely. Eco, best coach? Is that what you were alluding to?
That's what I was gonna talk about, and you know, I think we can all agree that there was an absolute robbery in this. Don't get me wrong, Jurgen Klopp is a great manager, but Flick, as we talked about earlier, 5 trophies in his first season ever, and you know, the Champions League trophy is one of them, which is, you know, the most sought after trophy.
Also
Maybe-
unbeaten. They were unbeaten in the
Yeah.
Champions League.
Exactly, the first team ever to do that. He definitely should have won that. I literally cannot see a single reason why Klopp won it over him. I mean, yes, Klopp won the title in a more competitive league, but I mean, Flick won the Champions League and wouldn't even make it out of the round of 16. I mean, that should tell you a little something.
Did you actually see how close it was, the voting?
I didn't
No.
know.
It was 24-24, but Klopp had more votes from national team managers, so they gave him the win. So it
Okay,
was neck and neck.
in my opinion, Flick, obviously, I mean, I think we're all in unanimous agreement here.
Yeah.
But Flick deserved it. They had a really dominant Bundesliga run. That was helped by Davies and Kimmich and Lewandowski, who we've all put in. There's no real other way. He's came in and I wouldn't say changed the team, but put the team at such a benefit that they're kind of unstoppable at this point. They're looking to only get better, especially with Sane being a big summer signing that they made, and he's been pretty good actually. They're really, really good, and I don't see them stopping.
No.
I see them going all the way this year in Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Before we start our game, because I know Luke's got to go very, very soon, I just want to do a small rant. Bielsa, Leeds manager, should not have been nominated for top 3. I think it
He's
should have
been talking
Tuchel
about
or
this
anyone
since
else.
it happened.
I cannot. I mean, he took a team from the Championship who should have been promoted a couple years ago anyway, a team that bottles it all the time, to the Premier League. Okay, what about Tuchel? Won the Ligue 1 and went to the Champions League final. Yes, he's got a better team, but you can't tell me an EFL Championship team who gets promoted would have the 3rd best manager in the world. I mean, look at Chris Wilder from Sheffield, who went League 1 to Championship to mid-table Premier League in the space of 3 seasons, and he wasn't even nominated.
Yeah, but look at how he started the first half of this year. You got to take into account that's what they're looking at.
I'm not saying
that's the main
Wilder.
thing.
I'm not saying Wilder should have been this year. I'm just saying he wasn't nominated when he got promoted to the Premier League when they won it.
At this point,
when-
you can make a case for Jose Mourinho.
There you go.
I think that.
Wait. This happened last episode as well, Luke. We need to correct you. It's Jose, not Jose.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
Portuguese J's.
Or
Jose
Mourinho.
Jesus.
But you could make a case for him at this point. He's kind of turned the Spurs team around.
He has.
But I think that third spot's a little tricky. And they just kind of wanted to put someone who wasn't going to win it because we kind of know who the top 2 is no matter what.
Yeah,
So
fair
it was
enough.
like, whatever. Let's just disperse the votes between the top 2 instead. I mean, did he even get any votes?
Yeah, I'm
Like,
sure he got
maybe
a
a
couple
few,
votes. Sure.
But
He's not a bad manager, but I just don't think he
no,
just
just
win
nowhere
the
near
Premier
the
League.
level.
Win the
I mean,
Premier League
you
and
could put
get
Pep there.
Yeah, Pep would have a better chance of winning. He'd get more votes than
Yeah, but maybe they didn't want votes to get
Yeah,
taken
that's-
away from
Flick
Flick
and
and Klopp.
Yeah, I think they just wanted more of a fair battle between Flick and Klopp instead of having a
put
third
Frankie
candidate.
Lampard up there then.
No,
No.
Frank Lampard's not a good manager.
Arteta. Put Lundberg up there, Freddie Lundberg. What did
Oh
he
my
go,
God,
three-
wasn't he with you
three
guys for like 4 games or something?
2 weeks? Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, we'll go into the game. It's a revisit from our early episodes. Who does he play for? We're gonna start off right away since we don't have much time. The Israeli international, Eran Zahavi. I'm sure you guys know him through FIFA.
We
maybe?
get options.
Yes, you guys get options.
Oh, okay. Nice.
I was about to say.
No buzzing in. No buzzing in. It's just write it down. So we have A, Genoa. B, PSV Eindhoven. C, Schalke. Or D, Porto. Where does Eran Zahavi play?
Can you see Eco?
Iko, are you there, buddy?
Yeah.
He's not moved.
Nah, I'm just frozen.
Okay, Iko has given me his answer. His camera doesn't work, so we can't.
Oh,
show
okay.
us.
So I'll.
Luke said B,
PSV.
which was PSV Eindhoven. Iko said A, Genoa. It is PSV Eindhoven. That is 1 point to Gare.
See, the only reason I went with Genoa was because Aiden earlier told me, like, you know these guys. You're going to know these guys. So I assumed he'd say a Serie A player.
Well, maybe you know these guys. Maybe you know the other ones. I don't know.
FIFA coming in clutch.
Albin Lafont. He's on loan from Fiorentina. So that's obviously not the team he's currently playing with. Is
I
it
know what team he's at.
A, Hertha Berlin, B, Marseille, C, Nantes, or D, Parma? Iko's gone
Can I turn
completely
mine
black
out?
now.
I don't know what's happening.
He's gone dark mode.
Yo, let's hear your answer with the private chat. He's given me his
I'm
answer.
gonna-
Luke, let's hear your answer.
C.
C. Iko said B, which was Marseille. The correct answer was C, Nantes. That's 2 points.
Oh my
Luke.
God.
Garrett, our third one. He is a Chelsea player, but he doesn't currently play for Chelsea. He's on
Matt
loan.
Miazga?
It is Matt Miazga.
Oh, get it! I know where he plays. I think.
God.
I'll be sad if I get this wrong.
Okay, is it A, Anderlecht, B, Reading, C, Werder Bremen, or D, Hibernian in the Scottish Premier League? Ego, let's hear your answer. Or
Maybe
not
I
hear
don't
your
know
answer.
this.
Oh,
I know
I'm
he used to play
thinking.
at
I'm
Schalke,
thinking.
But...
Ego,
Was he at
so
Schalke
basically-
for a season?
What's that?
I feel like he was at Schalke.
He could have been. I mean,
Maybe that was in one of my career modes.
I think it may have been. I don't think he was at Schalke, but he very well could have been because he's been on loan. All right, Iko, is that the answer you just gave me? The one you
Yeah.
just... Okay. He's given his answer. You guys both say Reading. He was there, but he's now at Anderlecht. Yes,
why
in
is he at
Belgium.
Anderlecht?
He was loaned at the beginning of the season. I know he was
Oh.
on Reading. I threw it in
That's
there
so
to
random.
confuse you guys.
I have to win out now.
Yeah.
Now we have another Chelsea player on loan. His name is Victor Moses. Is it A, Spartak Moscow, B, Lokomotiv Moscow, C, Dynamo Moscow, or D, CSKA Moscow?
Not gonna lie, I wrote Angers down, but I guess I was wrong.
Which
Um,
Moscow team is it?
I'm reading your face right now, bro. I'm gonna get this right.
Oh, really? Out of all of the... I didn't know there were that many big teams in Moscow. Luke, go ahead. Iko has said his answer. You guys both picked D, CSK Moscow. He plays for Spartak Moscow.
Oh, I've won! Let's go!
But we do have one more just in case before we go.
Alright.
He's a player that I've actually loved when he's on loan from Watford. I really did like him. He played for Barcelona a little bit. Gerard Deulofeu, if you guys remember him. Where does he play
Oh,
now?
I know where he played. Okay.
Is it A, Udinese, B, Bournemouth,
Oh, I've put my answer down.
Yeah, it's A. I know it.
It is A.
Palermo,
No.
or D, Club America? You guys said A. It's actually not A.
Is it not?
I'm just kidding. It's A.
Yeah. Okay, because
Yeah.
he got that league SBC player. In,
Oh, well, I did not know that. I don't play as much FIFA as you
Card
guys.
is sick.
Iko's not on a hot streak right now. I think that makes 3 losses in a row for Ego.
L. No, I think I lost last time.
Fortunate.
First of all, I got 2 right. I only lost by 1.
Still lost. A loss is a loss.
No, you lost by.
I'm just saying.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us of this episode of Inside the D. Episode 16, we've come a long way, and we'll see you in the next episode.